You're very familiar with something.
All right, guys, welcome to our Investment Thursday show. Today's topic is going to be one for the books, but before we go into that, I have with me the one and only. Sir, can I go further? The one and
deeper.
only engineer Ifeanyi Mogekwu. Yay!
Thank you. It's good to be on set with you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So before we go further, engineer Ifeanyi just clocked 17 years in the sales industry, or as a salesman.
I think I need to correct that a little.
Okay.
I've been selling for a greater part of my life, so I clocked 17 in terms of my work experience.
That's
my official work experience is 17 years. I became 17 this year, all right, but I've been selling for a greater part.
So how has it been?
You mean selling?
Yeah, the experience of being a salesperson.
Okay, I would say it's been fun. I'm deeply introverted naturally, all right. So it took me quite a long time to understand that, regardless of my temperament, that I could do the sales thing, and I would say it's been very beautiful. I mean, it has brought me out of my shell. Yeah.
Great to hear that. So today's topic is one I've been looking forward to, which is land banking versus land flipping. I've heard a lot of people talk about land banking, land flipping. They don't really know what it is. It's like there's a confusion there. So can you help us? I'm sure you can help us, sir. So let's start with land banking.
Okay.
So in how they say layman term.
Okay, I think I'm going to marry both.
Okay.
All right. Land flipping is basically the acquisition of land with the intention to sell within a short period of time.
Okay.
Now, according to research, basically, it is land flipping if you acquire land and you sell within 3 to 24 months. So what most people call land banking these days is basically land flipping.
Oh.
Once the timeline is between 3 to 24 months, you know that it's not land banking, it's land flipping. Now, what exactly is land banking? It's also basically the same, right? The key difference now is in land banking, it requires more patience.
Okay.
It requires more patience. And if I told you how much of patience, you'd be amazed.
Tell me.
It requires just about 5, yeah, you heard me, about 5 to 10 years.
For land banking?
For land banking,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Proper land banking. So again, the key difference between land flipping and land banking is in the timeline or the duration, the investment duration.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, okay, now for someone, let me just use myself as an example. I do not have any investment yet.
Okay.
So if I want to go into the real estate world and I want to just buy land, what would be your first advice for me?
Okay, I think I'm going to share a story, and this is the experience of my dad. All right. For so many years. Okay, I think I'm going to put it this way. My dad once shared with me, by the time he got to Kaduna, he got into Kaduna in the 70s. He said he was literally being begged to take land.
For free?
For free. I mean, almost for free. I mean, and these guys were asking for just little token. I mean, it's something that he could afford, something very little. And, he felt, well, in our village, if he needs land, if he wants to build, he could just tell them, okay, I'm ready to build now. Give me the size of land and they will give him. But there was no need for him to pay a single dime or bribe anybody to get land. So he felt it was not such a good plan. Looking at how Kaduna was then, looking at how Kakuri, there's a place in Kaduna actually called Kakuri. It was a Kakuri at the time. Looking at how Kakuri was then, it didn't look like a bright idea. So it was like that after some years, he would leave Kaduna and go back to Delta State where he can do the proper investments. But if you fast forward a little, we slept, we woke up one day and discovered that as at 2000, we were still in Kaduna. And Kakuri, that was not looking interesting at the time, became a mega city. So one thing I've learned is the error most people make is they try to follow the city.
Oh.
Yes. in doing investment in land, you don't have to follow the city. You follow the direction the city is heading at. Do you understand? So my advice for you is think land banking and not necessarily land flipping. And I'll tell you why. Yes, the major difference is in the timeline. We can also consider the other factors. For example, our profit margin. You know, with higher profit comes higher risk. If you need something you can flip, right? You may be doing that in a place that is attracting a lot of infrastructural development, like road network, other estates coming around and stuff like that, right? So it might require you to spend more money to acquire. But if you want to indeed follow the direction where the city is heading at, it means you're going to a place that may, at the moment, not be seen as 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 a well-developed place. Okay, it could look like a bush at the moment, right? So if you go there, there's every tendency you will buy at a very reasonable rate. And because you do not have the intention to sell within 3 to 12 months, it could take about 5 years, right? So you go there, you buy, you sell. So in summary, right, you would be spending just a little amount of money to buy a plot of land, right, that would appreciate greatly over a longer period of time. But there are other things I can advise you that would help you to know the places or the areas that would appreciate greatly. And there are some indices. But as we go in this conversation, I think I may share.
Okay. So, you know the recent demolitions that has been happening in Abuja?
Okay.
With the, Wiki has taken over this, Wiki has taken over that. Would you say between land banking now and land flipping, which carries more risk, given that the timeline now is different?
Yes. The one that carries more risk is still flipping, and I'll tell you why. Because the activities of flipping happen within a shorter period of time, it is mostly speculative.
Okay.
So a lot of people buy with intention to flip based on certain indices. Oh, there's going to be a road network here soon. Supposing it doesn't happen, it becomes speculative. So you buy, and because you intend to sell within a short period of time, and there'll be no significant change. All right. So again, flipping has higher risk than land banking. Land banking has lower risk if you consult people like us to guide you. I know the thing is, a lot of people can get stockbrokers to guide them, to help them get stocks or shares in different companies, but they will not consult people like us to guide them in real estate investments because they feel we're expensive. I won't deny we're expensive, but we'll give you value. Yes, we'll give you value. You see, so to ensure that the risk in land banking remains little, there are things you must consider. One, you must really be aware of the districts the FCT minister is seemingly interested at that particular time.
Okay.
I'm going to share one. I think you may have heard of Usuma district. Usuma district is an old district, right? But in recent times, with what the FCT minister is doing, the people who are smart are quickly going there to acquire. Now, the things you look at, right, to make sure that the risk is limited. One is government interest. Is government interested, or do they have interest in that particular area? Two, are there plans of creating industrial zones in the area? Are there plans of having a free trade zone in the area? Now, all of these things are things you consider. If you look at a country like Dubai, in 1990, okay, I don't know if you're born in 1992, but well, in 1990, I mean, it's common knowledge, and Dubai was considered a desert. And look at Dubai now, and let's bring it home. As far back as 2000, Bejuleki was not up
What
for
it is
conversation.
today.
It wasn't even up for conversation. I mean, in 2012, a place like even Lekki was still a gray area. How much more Bejuleki? As I mean, in 2013, I was involved in a particular transaction somewhere in Lagos, and I had the opportunity to acquire a plot of land in Ebejuleki. But I did not, because I said anywhere after, and for those who live in Lagos or those who know Lagos, I said anywhere after Awoyaya, you know, I just cannot buy anything there. But look at Bejuleki now. Then I never knew that there was going to be a Dangote refinery. I never knew there was a free trade zone in Bejuleki. I never knew that there was going to be an airport in Ekpe. You see, if I had information, if I had someone like Ifeanyi assisting or guiding in the process, I would certainly have bought a plot of land there. With how much? With 250,000 naira, with about 300,000 naira, and these things would have been done. But no, I did not. I couldn't do that. Why? Because I didn't have the information that I have today. So now these are the elements that would guide you, shrink the chance or tendencies of real estate risk. Do you understand? So again, the reason why land banking is not as risky as land flipping is it truly requires time to see real investment appreciation. Anything that would happen within a short period of time is mostly speculative. There are just rare instances where you can go into flipping rights and you get value. Rare instances, and for example, in Footstool Estates, we launched a project in I think early January, which is called the Hutu Golf and Polo Resort Estates. At that time, the 150 square meter was going for I think 3.6 million, right?
Yeah.
About 3.6 million. And as of today, being what date? I think 19th. It's really 19th or 20th.
20th.
But as of now, being 20th of November 2025, it's going for over 9 million naira. And people are cashing out. It happened because we invested in the project. We also tried to ensure that the access road into the place is done. Now, it is not a regular thing. It doesn't happen every other day that within 1 year, you would have an appreciation of index of over 150%. It doesn't happen that often. You get?
Yes, sir.
So.
Okay. So you know how when someone wants to acquire a property, we first hype return on investment, and then someone now wants to acquire this property and this person is like, oh, I'm not looking at return on investment. What are the things they should look out for?
Okay, I think you should help me with the question again.
Okay. So someone wants to buy land, whether it's to flip or to bank it, and then they are looking out for things that would make them want to invest in that property. Aside ROI now, what do you think they should look out for?
There are a lot of things you consider in doing these things. You see, apart from the ROI, which is one anyway, also look out for, like I said earlier, is government interested at the moment in bringing infrastructures to this particular district? That's a question you need to ask. And funny enough, it is not difficult to know because this information is available. It's available. 2, you need to know what exactly is happening there and project from the layouts or the master plan what exactly is going to be happening there. And for example, I think there's a project we have right now at the moment in Idugosa. You see, the place is fast selling. It's fast selling, not necessarily because of where it is now. Yes, it is in a good place. Yes, infrastructure is there to a large extent. Yes. But we are selling because we have more information about what would be happening in that place. Because we have the layouts of the FCT. We know where other connecting roads would be. So these are basic information that will help people in deciding if it's going to be a good decision to buy or not to buy. So again, apart from ROI, right, you need to look at the interest of government. Is government doing anything there? 2, you need to look at the future plan of government in the area. For example, Ekpe is now hot cake regardless of the location and the distance. Why? Because a lot of people are now aware of the fact that there's going to be an airport there, and some other things. So these are some of the things you consider.
Okay. So now let me make use of an example.
All right.
Our latest project that we have coming, that's the Salama Grande.
Oh, Salama Grande. Fantastic.
Yes. So now it's a buy and build project, right?
Right.
So if I don't want to build, would you advise me to flip or would you advise me to bank?
You see, and the truth is, not every project is good for, or not every project will allow a subscriber to go into land banking.
Okay.
As I've said, for you to do proper land banking, you're looking at between 5 to 10 years. At Salama Grande, because of where it is at the moment, it is already in the city. It will not give you the allowance to just buy without developing, without doing anything, without investing on the plot. You leave it fallow for another 5 years. It will be difficult, and I don't want to mislead the audience. It is in the city. So for a project like that, the one that would do well is flipping. Because again, we're looking at the timeline, 3 to 24 months. So you can buy and flip. And people are flipping in Hutu. They've made over 100%. At Salama Grande, with what we have on ground, you can also flip. And looking at our projection, within 1 year, you can make over 100%. So you just know that in flipping, there is a projection. And that kind of project, because of where it is in the city. And like I advise for newcomers, right? If you want to think long term, do not pursue the city because you pay premium and you may not have the opportunity to do the proper land banking because of the timeline. So flipping is what works at Salama Grande, the same way as flipping is what works for Hutu at the moment, and flipping is what works for our Patriot Island project. So a lot of them are basically good for flipping because they are all in very good locations. So for land banking, again, you need to go to somewhere that does not look like a very fantastic place. But yes, you must do your research to know what will be happening in that particular area.
So let me ask you, for land banking and flipping, would you also advise them to look out for like title documents?
I mean, it's common knowledge here in Abuja. If you're watching this video, do not acquire a 100 square meter. Do not even acquire 1 inch plot of land without doing the needful. Yes, you must check the title documents.
Okay.
It's basic.
I hope you guys are hearing that.
Don't buy any property without doing your due diligence. So I'm going to say this in pidgin English. I don't warn you. All right.
Okay. So from your experience in this industry, what's the one mistake you see people make when they want to acquire a property?
I think one major mistake people make is the way to make money before they buy properties. Yes. They wait to make money before they buy properties.
Why do I feel like that's a shade to me?
So I want to encourage you. See, I tell people that there is always a plot of land out there that you can acquire. You don't have to wait to make all the money in the world to buy a plot of land in Maitama, to buy a plot of land in Guzape. You don't have to wait. There are other places you can buy a plot of land and you know you will get value. Go to the new districts. Go to the upcoming districts. Don't wait. So one major mistake most people do is they wait to make money before they buy. Buy at your level is the first instruction I'll give. Buy at your level. But in buying at your level, do not forget what I've said. Ensure you have proper title documents.
Okay. So one last question before we wrap this session.
Okay.
We're going into 2026 now. This is November. We've come to the end of the year. What's that one piece of advice you give now someone like me that's willing to invest in 2026?
Okay. You see, and sometimes when people go into the new year and they have some aspirations like, I want to be rich. Some have aspirations like, I want to get another degree. But not so many people have have goals like I want to expand my investment portfolio. I want to begin my investment journey in real estate. So I'm going to say have a plan, make a decision to expand if you already have a couple of investments already, to expand your asset portfolio, or if you don't have any, make the plan to acquire one. And like I said earlier, begin at your level. Begin at your level. You can get a plot of land. I mean, I wish my dad actually started in the 70s. I'm sure I'll be, with the help of God, I'm okay, but I would have been far more comfortable, because then, as a very introverted person, I spent more time thinking than talking. So I was always asking myself this question: how come the wealthy people get wealthy or remain wealthy generation after or generations after? I didn't have the answer until so many years after I got to understand that a lot of them have that generational wealth because they acquired plots, because they acquired lands, and they continued to own lands. So to change the entire economic tide of your family, begin the journey of owning a plot of land in 2026, it should be a plan. It should be a plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you've heard from my guest, please invest. And if you're investing or if you're to invest, please invest wisely. Thank you.
Okay.
So
I need to say something.
Okay.
Please, it is not a prayer point. If you want to invest in properties, ensure you meet people like us. Let us guide you. It will give you value. All right. You can come to Footstool Estates. We have a lot of people like me who can guide you without making so much demands. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this, sir. I'm definitely sure people are going to learn from this. Okay, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And please, if you've learned something today, please enable to share and also tune in for our next episode, which is every Thursday. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.
All right. Thank you. Okay.